This is the most abundant variety within the connective tissue, right? And they have an active stage and they have an inactive stage, right? The active stage is known as the fibroblast, and the inactive stage is either known as inactive fibroblast or the fibrocytes. Now, they can either be flat or fusiform shaped, or they can be a large stellate shape, and they have long cytoplasmic process. Now, if we have to make this fibroblast, let's try to draw that fibroblast cell. The fibroblast is a fusiform shaped cell when it is inactive, but have the cytoplasmic processes, right? Within the inactive stage, the cell is more acidophilic, right? This whole cytoplasm, I'm not going to fill in with this because that will, it's difficult to fill in with this pen. The whole of the cytoplasm will be acidophilic. There's a less number of which component. Since it is inactive, it is not synthesizing any component. The main function of the fibroblast is to synthesize the components of connective tissue. And what are the components of the connective tissue? They are the fibers, right? They are the fibers, which are mainly the protein in nature, the glycosamine glycan, which are the ground substance. So it is going to synthesize these things. So the synthetic activity of the cell is done by the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and which give it a blue appearance when the ribosomes or the rough endoplasmic reticulum is numerous. So inactive fibrocyte, which is a relatively less dilated and a fusiform in shape, will have this shape and just a central basophilic nucleus, and the rest is not visible, but it's just the acidophilic. Now, if it is a fibroblast, it is an active stellate shaped cell, a somewhat dilated irregular cell body with the cytoplasmic processes. The cytoplasm is thin and long. And the cytoplasm, of course, it is acidophilic, but within this, there are so many rough endoplasmic reticulum component that it appears blue. The nucleus is elongated, blue, central ovoid nucleus, right? I've just given it a blue shade, and there's so many numerous blue zones or granules which are representing the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the whole of the cytoplasm will give you a bluish appearance. And what you see under the light microscope, you don't see these processes, you don't see the cell membrane, and you just see the bluish central zone, and a large bluish cell will be seen in the numerous places in the connective tissue where the active fibroblast is present. And in this, there is just the central ovoid nucleus. So the rough endoplasmic reticulum is not numerous in it. There will be a nucleus, and the rest is the acidophil. So this is how you draw the fibroblast. And in this diagram, if you see here, this is the nucleus here, the cell body, which is a stellate shape, long processes, a somewhat inactive stage with nucleus, and then the processes. Right? This we discussed that the inactive state of the fibroblast is also known as the fibrocyte. The nucleus is smaller, and the basic, it will stain, of course, basophilic, and the cytoplasm is acidophilic, and we cannot see the rest of the structures under the light microscope. You see just a small nucleus. And in the active state, it's the fibroblast. It is the very big cell with a very large nucleus, and even the nucleoli are very prominent in it, and cytoplasm stains deeply basophilic. This is one of the MCQ question. Why is cytoplasm stains basophilic? Because there's a lot of rough endoplasmic reticulum, there's a lot of ribosomes in it, and this EM word is indicating the light electron microscopic picture. LM represents the light microscopic picture. So if in MCQ one asks you to give the electron microscopic picture of the fibroblast, of course all the cell components will be there, but the numerous component which is present is the rough endoplasmic reticulum and the ribosome. This is the electron microscopic picture of a fibroblast. The nucleus, right? A central basophilic nucleus is there. The rough endoplasmic reticulum, which is so numerous. The rest of the components, the Golgi apparatus is there, the mitochondria is there, all the cell organelles they are present, but the numerous is this basophilic rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the ribosome, scattered ribosomes are also present, giving it all the cytoplasm basophilic appearance. And this is a fibrocyte. The fibrocyte is an inactive state. An inactive state, you can see it's a shrunken cell with the cytoplasmic process, and this the nucleus is also shrunken in it, but in the stain is relatively, it is basophilic, but the stain in this diagram is relatively giving you a pinkish appearance, although it is the basophilic cytoplasm. Now, what is the function of the fibroblast? The fibroblast, as I said, that it synthesizes the components of connective tissue. And what are the components of the connective tissue? The components of the connective tissue, yes, the main components, they are the fibers in it, and the fibers are made up of proteins, right? These are the collagen proteins, elastin proteins, and so these this will synthesize these proteins, and which will ultimately polymerize the connective tissue fibers. And the second major component, which is the ground substance, and the ground substance which contains the glycosaminoglycans, the proteoglycans, and the glycoproteins, all are secreted by the fibroblast, the active fibroblast. So when it is synthesizing the protein and it is secreting the ground substance, what it is doing is it is repairing. So it is the main cell type in the repair. This is another MCQ question, that which is the cell type, which connective tissue cell, which is mainly involved in the repair. So the repair of the connective tissue by protein synthesis, by the secretion of the ground substance, is done by the fibroblast. Another friendly cell within the connective tissue with the fibroblast, which helps in the wound healing, is the myofibroblast. This is the second fixed type of the cell, the myofibroblast, which is helping in the wound healing. You can see here a wound which has been healed by the formation of a scar, right? So this is actually a fibroblast, which is a very specialized fibroblast and has a smooth muscle-like activity. Right? When you differentiate under the light microscope, you won't be able to distinguish it from the fibroblast. It will be giving you a dilated, salad-shaped appearance and a basophilic appearance in the cytoplasm, and there will be processes in it. The difference is in the electron microscope. And of course, there will be rough endoplasmic reticulum, since it is helping in repair. The Golgi complex will be there. But the very important component, since it have a muscular activity, contractile activity, the wound healing needs the contraction. For this, what else should be present in the cytoplasm is actin and myosin filaments. Right, the dense bodies are present in addition to Golgi apparatus, rough endoplasm. So the smooth muscle activity smooth muscle-like activity of these cells is due to the actin and myosin filament. So they will be helping in the wound contraction and in the formation of a scar. If you